The city lights twinkled like scattered diamonds across the skyline as I stepped out of my apartment, heart pounding with that rare mix of excitement and nerves. It had been ages since I'd felt this alive. Single for 2 years after a messy breakup, I'd thrown myself into work, gym routines, and the occasional lonely Netflix binge. But tonight? Tonight was different. I'd matched with Elena on a dating app 3 weeks ago, and our chats had been electric. Witty banter, shared love for indie films, and that effortless chemistry that made hours feel like minutes. We were finally meeting for dinner at this cozy Italian spot downtown, and I couldn't shake the feeling that this could be the start of something real. Little did I know, the night would flip my world upside down in ways I never saw coming. If you're watching this, hit that like button if you've ever been blindsided on a date, and subscribe for more real-life stories that hit you right in the feels. We've got plenty more where this came from. I arrived early, fiddling with my tie in the mirror of my car. Elena showed up right on time, looking even more stunning than her photos, long dark hair cascading over a simple red dress that hugged her curves just right. Her smile lit up the dimly lit restaurant as she spotted me. "Alex," she said, her voice warm and melodic, like a song I'd been waiting to hear. We hugged awkwardly at first, but it melted into something genuine. Over appetizers of bruschetta and wine, we dove straight into conversation. She was a graphic designer, passionate about turning ideas into visuals that told stories. I shared my gig as a software engineer, confessing how I secretly dreamed of writing a novel someday. Laughter flowed easily. She teased me about my nerdy Star Wars collection, and I ribbed her back about her obsession with vintage vinyl records. The chemistry was undeniable, our eyes locked more than once, sending sparks through the air. As the main course arrived, pasta carbonara for me, risotto for her, the talk deepened. Elena opened up about her love for travel, recounting a solo trip to Italy where she'd gotten lost in Rome's winding streets and found herself in a tiny gelato shop that changed her life. "It was the first time I felt truly free," she said, her eyes distant yet bright. I nodded, sharing my own adventure hiking in the Rockies, where the solitude had healed old wounds from my ex. We bonded over those vulnerable moments, the kind that make you feel seen. By dessert, a shared tiramisu that we fought over playfully with our forks, I was hooked. This wasn't just a date, it felt like fate. The waiter even commented on our vibe, saying we looked like a couple from a rom-com. Elena blushed, and I felt a warmth spread through my chest. Everything was perfect. But as the night wound down, and we lingered over coffee, the air shifted. Elena set her cup down, her expression turning serious. "Alex, I have to tell you something," she said, her voice steady but laced with hesitation. My stomach tightened, those words never lead anywhere good. She took a deep breath. "I have 2 kids. A boy, Liam, who's 6, and a girl, Mia, who's 4. They're my everything." The words hung there, heavy and unexpected. I blinked, processing. Kids. She hadn't mentioned them in our chats. Not once. I felt a rush of confusion, my mind racing. Why now? Why not sooner? She must have seen the shock on my face because she quickly added, "I get it if this changes things. I didn't want to scare you off before we met, but I believe in honesty. If you're not ready for that, I understand. Consider this your exit pass, no hard feelings." The restaurant buzzed around us, but it all faded into a blur. Exit pass. It sounded so casual, like opting out of a subscription. But inside, a storm brewed. I wasn't against kids. In fact, I'd always pictured myself as a dad someday. But 2? Instant family? My life was structured, late nights coding, spontaneous weekend trips, a quiet apartment with no sticky fingerprints on the walls. Elena watched me, her eyes searching mine, vulnerable in a way that twisted my gut. She wasn't just dropping a bomb, she was testing the waters, giving me an out because she'd been burned before. I learned later that her ex had left when Mia was a baby, claiming he wasn't cut out for fatherhood. That betrayal had scarred her, made her cautious. But in that moment, all I could muster was a weak, wow, okay. That's a lot. We paid the bill in awkward silence, the magic of the evening evaporating like mist. Outside, under the streetlights, she turned to me. Thanks for tonight, Alex. It was fun. Her smile was sad, resigned, like she'd expected this. I mumbled something about needing time to think, and we parted with a hug that felt final. Driving home, regret gnawed at me. Was I really going to walk away from someone amazing because of fear? The title of this story says it all, the date was perfect until that bombshell. But what if the real story was just beginning? If this resonates with you, smash that like button and subscribe. We dive deep into these emotional roller coasters every week. The next few days were torture. I replayed the night in my head, dissecting every moment. Elena's laugh, her passion, the way she made me feel alive. But the kids loomed large. What did I know about parenting? My own childhood had been rocky, divorced parents, shuttled between homes. I didn't want to mess up innocent lives. Friends gave mixed advice. My buddy Mike said, "Run, man. You're not ready for stepdad duties." My sister, though, urged me to think bigger. Life's messy, Alex. The best things often are. I scrolled through Elena's profile again, noticing subtle hints I'd missed, a toy in the background of one photo, a kid's drawing on her fridge in another. She hadn't hidden it, I'd just been too caught up in the fantasy. On day 4, I texted her, "Can we talk?" She replied quickly, suggesting coffee at a park near her place. When I arrived, she was there with a thermos, looking radiant in jeans and a sweater. We walked along the paths, leaves crunching underfoot in the crisp autumn air. "I appreciate the exit pass," I started, "but I don't want to take it." "Not yet." Her eyes widened. We sat on a bench, and she opened up more. Liam was energetic, obsessed with dinosaurs. Mia was shy, with a love for painting that mirrored her mom's creativity. "They're not baggage, Alex," she said softly. "They're my joy. But I won't force anyone into our world." Hearing her story, the struggles of single motherhood, balancing work and bedtime stories, the loneliness of holidays without a partner, hit me hard. It wasn't just about the kids, it was about her resilience, her heart. That's when the challenges really began. Our second date was at her home, a cozy townhouse filled with laughter and chaos. Liam bombarded me with questions. "Do you like T-Rexes? What's your favorite planet?" Mia hid behind her mom at first, peeking out with curious eyes. I felt out of my depth, like an intruder in their perfect little unit. But as we played board games and ate homemade pizza, something shifted. Liam's giggles when I lost at chutes and ladders, Mia's tiny hand slipping into mine during story time, it was terrifying and wonderful. Elena watched with a mix of hope and caution, her walls still up. Of course, it wasn't all smooth. Key challenges popped up like landmines. One night, after a long day at work, I snapped when Liam spilled juice on my laptop. "Careful!" I barked, louder than intended. The room went silent. Elena's face hardened as she cleaned up, whispering to me later, "They're kids, Alex. Mistakes happen." I felt like a jerk, apologizing profusely. It forced me to confront my impatience, rooted in my own unresolved issues. Therapy helped. I started sessions, unpacking my fears of abandonment. Elena joined a couple of times, sharing her trust issues from the ex. We resolved it by communicating openly, setting boundaries like family nights, where I could ease in without pressure. Another hurdle, blending lives. My friends questioned my sanity. "You're giving up your freedom?" While her mom friends eyed me suspiciously, protective after her past. We faced judgment at a playground when a nosy parent asked if I was the new guy, implying I was temporary. It stung, but Elena squeezed my hand. "We're in this together." Resolutions came through small victories. I surprised them with a dinosaur museum trip. Liam's excitement was priceless. Mia drew me a picture of our family, including me with a goofy smile. Those moments built trust, turning fear into love. As months passed, the pace of our story quickened yet stayed steady, like a heartbeat finding its rhythm. We navigated holidays, Thanksgiving with her family, where her dad grilled me but ended up sharing war stories. Christmas, decorating a tree with handmade ornaments, Mia on my shoulders placing the star. Challenges persisted, Liam's tantrums tested my patience, Mia's nightmares required late-night comforts. But resolutions followed, parenting books, couples counseling, and Elena's unwavering support. She taught me that love isn't perfect, it's persistent. One evening, a year in, we sat on her porch after the kids were asleep. "Remember that exit pass?" she teased. I pulled her close. Best decision I never took. We'd grown, me into a man who embraced chaos, her into someone who trusted again. The inspiring message? Life's surprises aren't roadblocks, they're invitations to grow. Don't let fear rob you of joy. If a single mom and a scared bachelor can build this, anyone can. So, viewers, if this story moved you, like and subscribe. We're all about those heart-tugging tales that remind us love wins. Thanks for watching. But wait, let's dive deeper into the emotional layers. Elena's revelation wasn't just a plot twist, it was a mirror to my own insecurities. Growing up, my dad's absence left a void. I vowed never to be that guy. Yet here I was, hesitating. Through therapy, I realized my exit pass moment was a test of character. Elena, too, had depths. Her ex's betrayal shattered her, making her build walls higher than the city skyline. Sharing vulnerabilities, her tears over missed milestones, my confessions of loneliness, forged our bond. Relatable characters emerged in the kids. Liam, with his boundless energy, reminded me of my younger self, curious and unfiltered. Teaching him to code simple games on my, now protected, laptop created father-son moments I never knew I craved. Mia's quiet artistry echoed Elena's, and helping her paint murals in her room healed parts of me. Challenges like co-parenting with her ex arose. He showed up unannounced once, sparking jealousy. Resolution? A calm conversation, boundary set, focusing on the kids' well-being. Our story's pace mirrored a 100-minute epic, slow build in courtship, rising tension with revelations, climactic conflicts in integration, and a resolving arc of harmony. By the end, we married in a small ceremony, kids as ring bearers. The strong message: embrace the unexpected. Single parents, scared singles, love awaits beyond fear. Hit like if you're inspired, subscribe for more.